Hey, it's Matt, your average gamer, and for this video, we're going to do something small for the Bandit Curved Swords. We're going to do 5 different builds involving the Bandit Curved Swords. It's going to be a really fun one, gives you a lot of variety for these specific weapons. I know they're really popular. They come up in my comments often a lot, so I decided to do several different builds that include each damage type. Here, we are going to be using Royal Magic Grease, and we're going to do a magic version to start with jump attacks. So you could go for magic affinity, but there's no real magic coding things that I like specifically for the Bandit Curved Swords, so I decided to use the Royal Magic Grease from the DLC. You can apply it to both weapons if you apply it to the left-handed one first and then the right-handed one, which means we're basically going to be a Keen type build, going for a lot of physical damage with 120 magic damage and some really cool looking weapons. Let's jump into equipment. And we have 2 Bandit Curved Swords in Keen Affinity. We're using Royal Magic Grease. Any seal for buffs. We have the Rakshasa set and Gravebird chest piece on. Claw Talisman, Maleficent's Prosthesis, Magic Scorpion Charm, Wing Sword Insignia, or Rotten Wing Sword Insignia is better if you have it, Magic Tear, Thorny Tear, and of course the Royal Magic Grease we talked about for 120 magic damage. Let's jump into stats. For stats, we have 60 Vigor, 15 Mind, 26 Endurance, 12 Strength, 70 Dexterity, 33 Faith, so we could add some buffs to this build. We are using Golden Vow, Blessing's Boon, and Hellish Abriri. The next one up here is going to be a lightning build for the Bandit Curved Swords. I've done these before. It uses Lightning Slash. You're going to use the Lightning Slash Ash of War on the left-handed one first and then the right-handed one. I showed the buffing order. I'm using Golden Vow, Blessing's Boon, and Hellish Abriri for this build. Hellish Abriri is the shortest duration one, so I always use that last. Make sure you equip the left-handed one. Apply the Ash of War, go to the right-handed one, also apply the Ash of War, and you'll have a lightning coat on both Bandit Curved Swords. And this is going to give you a ton of lightning damage and a lot of jump attack damage. That's what we're going for here in this video. The Bandit Curved Swords are so popular, they pop up literally in my comments all the time. So ultimately I decided to make this video. I mentioned that earlier, but I figured I'd make a video for it, give you pretty much every damage type to work with, and I also put them in order of strength too. So the first one was the magic one, and now we're on to lightning, and we're going to go from there. Let's jump into equipment. We have 2 Bandit Curved Swords, Lightning Affinity with Lightning Slash on both, any seal for buffs, Rakshasa set, Gravebird armor. We have the Claw Talisman, Maleficent's Prosthesis, Lightning Scorpion Charm, Wing Sword Insignia, or Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, once again, is better if you have it, Lightning Tear, Thorny Tear. Let's jump into stats. And for stats, we have 60 Vigor, 20 Mind, 26 Endurance, 12 Strength, 65 Dexterity, 33 Faith, so once again, we could use our buffs. We are using Golden Vow, Blessing's Boon, and Hellish Abriri again here. I'll also show you later in the video where to get the Bandit Curved Swords early too, at least the spot I go to. The next one we have here is a Holy build. There ends up being a lot of damage in this clip, more than I expected. This dragon's weak to Holy damage, but I do get a surprise hit here. So we are going to once again use the left-handed one with Sacred Blade here to apply the coat, and then the right-handed one with Sacred Blade to also apply the coat. And we're full Faith build for this one too, because the Bandit Curved Swords get a B in Faith scaling. So when he turns around here, I end up getting some damage on his head, which amounts to 41,000 damage, which is pretty incredible. That was an awesome jump there. Let's jump into equipment. Speaking of jumping, stats, everything you need to know. We have 2 Bandit Sacred Curved Swords, and we have them with Sacred Blade on both. We have the Erdtree seal. That's a good seal here. It's weightless. We have the Gravebird armor and Rakshasa set. We're going for damage here. Claw Talisman, Maleficent's Prosthesis. We have the Sacred Scorpion Charm. We have the Wing Sword Insignia, or Rotten Wing Sword Insignia is better if you have it. Holy Tear, Thorny Tear. Don't worry about the last item that was on here. That was from some boss testing I had before I left that there. Let's jump into stats. For stats, we have 60 Vigor, 21 Mind, 28 Endurance, 12 Strength, 20 Dexterity. We have 75 Faith for this build, so you're going to have a lot of power if you use like different incantations and stuff too. We are using Golden Vow, Hellish Abriri, and of course Blessing's Boon. Keeping the Faith theme here, we are going to jump into a Flame Art build for the Bandit Curved Swords. Once again, gets a B in Flame Art and Sacred, of course. They are excellent for Faith builds. We are going to use Flaming Strike on the left-handed one and then Flaming Strike on the right-handed one. Make sure you do the follow-up. That's how you get the coating. That's the follow-up R2 or a Bright Trigger if you're on Xbox. Make sure you coat both as well. Do your buffs, and let's see how much damage we get here. Once again, the theme here is to do as many jump attacks as you possibly can do, and let's see how much damage we get on Morgott. We got 3 hits over 11,000 damage, 13,000 damage there, and he goes down in just 5 jump attacks. That's pretty awesome. And that's basically how you want to handle all these builds ultimately, is there are different variations of jump attacks that you can do with the Bandit Curved Swords. You can do, of course, your dual wielding hits as well, where you like do the running attacks and things like that. But jump attacks, of course, have the highest DPS. So we have 2 Bandit Flame Art Curved Swords, both with Flaming Strike. We are using any seal for buffs. You can pretty much use anything you want. You have High Faith here again too. Rakshasa Set, Engraved Bird Chest Piece, Claw Talisman, Millicent's Prosthesis, Fire Scorpion Charm, Winged Sword Insignia, or Rotten Winged Sword Insignia is better if you have it, Flame Tear, Thorny Tear, and then of course for this we actually did use Margit Shackle, which stuns the boss. Let's jump into stats. And we have 60 Vigor, 21 Mind, 28 Endurance, 12 Strength, 20 Dexterity. We have 75 Faith, once again High Faith here. We had 58 Poise for pretty much all these, Golden Vow, Blessing's Boon, and Hellish Shabiri. And now at number 1, we have a bleed build. Of course, that's going to be number 1. For our buffing order, we are going to use Golden Vow first, then Blessing's Boon. Then we're going to drink our tear, which has the blood-sucking crack tear in it, so that's going to bring our health down. Blessing's Boon will help with that. Then you're going to use Hellish Shabiri. After that, you're going to switch to your left-handed one to use Seppuku, and then we're buffing this a lot. So I'm actually going to poison proc this, and then lastly, do another Seppuku. Got a lot of damage going on here. And then heal up and hit a boss, and you're going to do a lot of damage. So I ended up missing a couple jumps here. That's the one downside to using the Shackle. He actually has, his hitbox is significantly lessened, it seems. But ultimately, we end up getting a good amount of damage. 3 hits over 12,000. Should have been a lot more, though. Had he been standing up and I hit him, it probably would have been 13,000 in like 2 hits. Definitely would have done more. I'm going to show this off a little bit more without going over the buffing order again and see how much damage we can get on a couple other bosses. Couple things to mention here real quick, because I posted this on my alternate channel, which I don't use that often. I wanted to mention that if there's smaller videos you want to see, or specific builds or lists for like, you know, specific weapons, stuff that I don't really do on my main channel, anything kind of like different in the sense of not the normal list videos you're used to on the main channel, be sure to comment if there's stuff that you want to see. Like, I think I'm going to do a video for the backhand blades and all the things you could do with them. If there's a weapon you want to see a specific one highlighted, I'll go over the weapon in detail on this channel. In the meantime, you're going to get a lot of damage with the bleed build here, of course. And some of the other ones on here are a lot of fun. I think my favorite is either the Sacred Blade one or the Royal Magic one, which just looks really cool. I love the blue coat on the weapons. I think it looks awesome. Let's go over equipment and stats for the bleed build. And we have 2 Bandit Curved Swords in Blood Affinity with Seppuku. We have the Poison Perfume Bottle, the Dragon Communion Seal, White Mask, Grey Bird Chest Piece, and Rakshasa Set. We have the Claw Talisman. We have Millicent's Prosthesis, Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Kindred of Rot's Exaltation for the extra poison proc. Didn't need that item there. Thorny Tear, Blood-Sucking Crack Tear. Let's jump right into stats. And we have 50 Vigor for this one, 14 Mind, 26 Endurance, 12 Strength, 45 Dexterity, 45 Arcane, 33 Faith, so you could use a lot of buffs, and we were using Golden Vow, Hellish Shabiri, and Blessing's Boon. If you don't like buffs, you could always go for 60 Vigor, which I recommend for a lot of players, but this is kind of a low health build. Now we're going to talk about getting the bandits early. This is where I farm them early. Before we jump into the map, just wanted to say, be sure to sub this channel if you want to see shorter, more like specific videos. And don't forget Your Average Gamer, my main channel. Be sure to sub to that channel as well if you want to check out Elden Ring content. And here we are at the Church of Pilgrimage in the Weeping Peninsula. This is where I like to farm the Bandit Curved Swords early, and I'll show you what to do. So you're going to run out here, and you only have to take down one of these skeleton guys. If you use Sacred Blade, he goes down in a single hit. He's going to be the one that drops the Bandit Curved Swords. It could take a while to get these. It could take you anywhere from... I've had players tell me that they've gotten 2 in 2 minutes, and I've had players tell me that they've gotten 2 in an hour. It can take a long time to farm these. I think the drop rate's around 2% or so. You can use Silver Pickled Foul Foot to increase the chances of being able to get the Bandit Curved Swords. But at the end, patience is going to win the day, and you will get 2 of them, no question about it. Be sure to sub. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more build videos like this one, definitely comment below so I know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A lot of people like the Bandit Curved Swords. It's always commented on my channel, something I see all the time, so I decided to make a video for it. And hopefully this turned out to be really good for you guys that like the Bandit Curved Swords, and it gives you a lot of variety to work with too, and a lot of different jump attack builds. I'll catch you guys in the next video.